a rearward-facing child restraint, or a forward-facing child restraint with an inbuilt harness. How do you know when a baby over 6 months is ready to be forward-facing? You need to check your baby's weight. When babies weigh a minimum of 8 to 9 kilograms, preferably closer to 12 kilograms, and can hold their heads up for long periods, they can be moved to a forward-facing child restraint. If you can, it's best to keep your baby facing the rear for as long as possible, up to 12 kilograms. When you're buying a child restraint, think about, is your child likely to sleep for long periods in the car? Do you need a restraint which can recline? Are you using more than one car? Will you need a child restraint that's easy to carry and install correctly? If your car seats are contoured, will the child restraint sit properly? How should you adjust the seat? Follow the manufacturer's instructions. Make sure the seat is properly installed, using a tether strap attached to an anchor fitting, and the car seat belt pulled as tightly as you can make it, and ensure it's correctly adjusted. The inbuilt harness must be adjusted as your child grows. Shoulder straps should come from slots above or level with the child's shoulders. You can check the maker's instructions to see how that's done. Again, if your child has outgrown your forward-facing child restraint before reaching the age of 4 years, the law will allow you to use a booster seat instead. But, as booster seats generally offer less protection than child restraints, you should put this move off for as long as possible. And every time you travel, make a quick check that the seatbelt is done up and firm and that the harness straps fit snugly and are not twisted. Be sure you're using the right restraint in the right way. Child restraints are designed to face the front, not sideways or towards the back of the car. If your car has airbags, check your owner's manual for advice on where it's safest to seat your child. We've said it before, but it's worth repeating. The longer you keep a baby who weighs up to 12 kilograms rearward facing, the safer your child will be. Children aged 4 years are not tall enough to wear a seatbelt safely. Seatbelts are designed for adults, not small children, who need to use either a child restraint with an inbuilt harness or a properly positioned booster seat and seatbelt. Again, the best way to decide whether your 4-year-old is ready to move to a booster seat is to check your child's weight. If your child weighs more than 18 kilos, then a booster seat is the safest option. Some very tall children may need to move to a booster seat before they reach 18 kilos if the harness straps on their child restraint are more than 25 millimeters below their shoulders. Booster seats are suitable for children who weigh between 14 and 26 kilograms. Remember, it's important to always keep children in a child restraint with an inbuilt harness until they reach their maximum body weight. Combination seats are both a forward-facing child restraint with inbuilt harness and a booster seat for use with the seatbelt. The inbuilt harness is used until the child is 18 kilograms or until the straps are too tight to fit over the shoulders. After that, the straps can be tucked away and the seat used as a booster seat with the car's seatbelt until your child either grows too big for the booster seat or reaches 26 kilograms. When choosing a booster seat, here are some things to look for. A movable headrest, accommodating a child as the child grows taller. Head support and side impact protection. A means of positioning the seatbelt correctly. A means of stopping a child slipping under the seatbelt in a crash. How should you adjust the seat? Make sure the sash crosses your child's shoulder, not the neck. Use the sash guide that comes with most seats. Check that the lap part of the belt does not cross the tummy. The lighter booster seats are held in place by the weight of the child's body and the car's seatbelt. and others have a top tether strap like a child restraint. If only a lap belt and not a lap and sash is available, you must use a child safety harness to restrain your child's head and upper body. However, recent research recommends replacing the lap-only belt with a lap sash seat belt. Visit a restraint fitter to find out if a lap-only belt can be replaced with a lap sash seat belt. Booster cushions do not have backs or sides. A booster seat gives more protection in a crash from the side. You can use a booster seat until your child's eyes are as high as the top of the seat or headrest, whichever is higher, or until your child weighs 26 kilograms. A child safety harness is not an inbuilt harness. It is an additional product to purchase. A child safety harness attaches to a child restraint anchorage point and is sometimes used by children 4 to 10 years with a booster seat or a lap-only seatbelt. Recent research does not recommend using a child safety harness with a lap sash seatbelt. If you have a lap-only belt, visit a restraint fitting station to find out if the lap-only belt can be replaced with a lap sash seatbelt. If using a child safety harness with a booster seat, it is recommended to use a booster seat with an anti-submarining clip to hold the seatbelt down between the child's legs. If you are using a child safety harness, ensure that the shoulder straps are not too tight and the lap part of the belt is very low across the thighs, or it may ride up into the child's stomach area. This may cause serious injury or death to a child in a crash. Read the instructions carefully. A child safety harness must be fitted correctly every time it is used. Visit a restraint fitting station for advice. Harnesses can be used with a booster seat until the child weighs 26 kilograms, and then without a booster seat until the child is 32 kilograms. Your child is growing up. Once a child is 140 centimeters tall and has legs long enough to bend at the edge of the car's seat, it's time to say goodbye to the booster seat. It is important to teach your child how to fit their seat belt correctly. Explain to your child that lap sash belts are much safer than straight lap belts for all ages. To fit correctly, the lap part should be over your child's hips, not tummy, and the sash sitting flat across their shoulder, not touching their neck. The seat belt should be worn as firmly as comfortable. All slack should be removed. Because the back seat is so much safer than the front, the new laws do not allow children under the age of 4 to travel in the front seat if there is a back seat in the car. Even children aged 4, 5 and 6 must travel in the back seat unless all the back seats are being used by other children under the age of 7. If a child aged 4, 5 or 6 needs to sit in the front seat, you will need to make sure you have one of the lighter booster seats which do not need anchoring. There must be one seat belt for each person, including each child. Putting 2 children into one belt is both dangerous and illegal. This means you may not carry more passengers than there are seat belts in the vehicle. Second-hand restraints may be usable, especially if they are less than 10 years old, but never if they have been in an accident. Find out what you can of their history. Check the straps are not frayed, that the buckle works smoothly, and there are no cracks in the shell. You can have them checked by a restraint fitting station. To find the one nearest you, click on More Help in this DVD. Those little eyes seem to take in everything around them. They are. Children learn mostly by watching and imitating. If they see you driving carefully, they're more likely to grow up to be a careful driver. If they see you always use a seatbelt, they'll come to think that's the normal thing to do. And when you think that most accidents happen within a short distance of home, is there any time when you shouldn't wear a seatbelt?